Hello, we're back with another episode of PeppTalks.
We are here today with
Team Matrix from India.
I'm Anushka. I'm from Mumbai, India, and I'm a part of Team Matrix. I've done FTC last year too, and I'm really passionate about STEM, and I'm helping out in like the outreach and CAD and construction aspects of Team Matrix, and I'm really looking forward to this podcast.
Yeah. Hi, my name is Sanvi and I'm part of the programming and outreach in Team Matrix. And I'm also looking forward to this podcast.
And
Hi, I'm Arav. I'm part of the CAD team in Team Matrix. This is my first time doing FTC, but I've been passionate about different softwares and robotics in general. I also just love technology in general. And yeah, I'm looking forward to this podcast in this season.
Okay, we prepared a few questions for you, if that's okay with you guys.
Okay, we saw that on your webpage, you that last year was your first year in FTC, and we wanted to ask you, how was your first experience as a rookie team in FTC?
So last year, most of us were like different members, and as of now in the podcast, all three of us are new. I did FTC with a separate team last year, but I can speak on behalf of the people who did FTC last year, and I've heard from them that as a rookie team, it was a first-time experience for most of the members. It was a great learning opportunity, and reaching out to other teams, taking help from like veteran teams which had experience, really helped them. And this year, they're in fact our mentors and guiding us in the process of FTC.
That's really cool. Do you have any advice for other rookie teams?
I'd say one thing, and then of course Sanvi and Arif can add. I'd say work together, work hard, and don't let anything else come in your way, because what I've experienced is that academics and FTC and then other extracurricular activities at times they get hard to balance. So it's just like give it your best effort and contribute wherever you can to the team. And it's not about, who's doing what or how much someone's doing, but it's just about you giving your best effort. And at the end of it all, if every member does their best, the team will succeed. So, Sanvi, anything? Arav?
I'd say invest as much time as possible because personally, academics come in the way a lot because we have school every day, and also working as a team, because one thing is that everybody's doing their own bit. Sometimes it just doesn't come together the way it should. So I'd recommend working like as hard as you can as a team and together.
Yeah, I think the focus and time management aspect of it is like the most important thing, because many people, they don't give this as much importance, and they don't realize that this competition is actually a very good like experience they can get for their future and now. So everyone has to do their bit. It's not even, and they have to work hard. Obviously, it doesn't even matter if we win or not, but like collaboration, getting to know others, building the robot, that's very important. And like the skills you develop in general.
Thank you. How do you manage this insane program, basically? How do you manage doing your schoolwork and also building a robot and participating in competition?
So the thing is, like, we have school every day, and quite a few of us, like some of us are in 8th, some of us are in 9th, and studying in different boards. So we all have a lot of work, but the thing is, we always ensure to like balance our time. So in the day, we're finishing our academics as fast as we can, and then all of us are like really excited to get started on the FTC aspect of the work, because of course that's much more fun than academics. So but at the same time we ensure that our grades aren't slipping, but we're trying to put in as much effort into FTC as we can. And I heard in fact like last year from the mentors, since because of COVID everything was online. So last year during online school, they were working on hours and hours on the ENB engineering notebook. So it gets more rigorous as it goes forward. But we try our best to balance our time. And we speak to our teachers in school, telling them that we have FTC. So if they could excuse us if we miss an assignment or two.
And all the team members are very enthusiastic. So we always find days where we have common ground and free time, and we work on the project then.
Talking about time spent in the lab working on the robot, how much time do you usually spend together working on the robot or the engineering notebook? Like how much hours a day?
Yeah, so basically, we each take some of us have taken the skill building programs like on the side of CAD or programming. So, those sessions, at least for me, the CAD classes have ended. And we normally have classes on Saturday from 1 to 4 p.m. And that's when we see everyone, physically, face to face. We get to know, like, just, basically FTC as a whole, not only just one aspect of it, the game strategies, the circuits, and a lot of new things we didn't know. And now slowly we're going to get into the construction part, the different parts, like how you can build them together, the motors, the servo motors, etc. So a lot of knowledge and basically the Saturday class.
Yeah, so apart from when we meet on Saturday, we have like an outreach meeting once or twice a week where all of us work together to come up with different ideas for outreach.
Okay, we can all see and admire that you're very dedicated and enthusiastic about your robotic team. And that comes with the question, how did you recruit your team members?
So, since like we're a school FTC team, and quite a few of us are also like new admissions into the school, while some of us have been in the school since, when we were very young. So, the school themselves had sent out like a selection form, which each of us filled. And depending upon the past achievements, past experience, interest in robotics, our teachers selected us and we, formed our team. In fact, there are two teams from our school. So we're working like with a sister team at the same time. But so we're around 30 to 32 people as a whole among the two teams. And yeah, so we had like a selection form and a process with the help of the teachers.
We also have a sister team, and we find that sometimes it's a little bit hard working in the same workspace. Did you find any problems working with your sister teams?
So, to combat the problem of like trying to share the workspace, share the lab, we've, divided the time. So we try to come like at separate times so we both can be as productive. But alongside, we're really working and looking at collaborating as much as we can on outreach. Because, holding outreach events with your team members will help you get more numbers and it's also a more fun experience. So we're trying to collaborate, working on that as much as we can because a sister team is not like we don't want it to mean competition and more competition, but we want it to mean more collaboration. So we're trying to work on that as much, and even they are cooperating with us, so it's a great experience.
So, what talking about what outreach? What events do you have planned for this year, or did you even start planning?
Yeah, so we've worked on our outreach plan a lot and we're taking great interest in that. Many of our members are like super interested in outreach. So we've planned basically like, podcasts like y'all are holding, which we feel is a great way to reach out to, teams across the globe. Apart from that, since, we're a school FTC team, we're planning to, work with the younger students in our school to give them exposure to STEM and of course the like reaching out to NGOs etc to help them out because it's not always about just team matrix going ahead, but we believe in uplifting everyone with us. So be it building the future generation of robotics in our school so they could become the future team matrix, or be it uplifting underprivileged kids, giving them the opportunity to experience STEM. We look at everything as a team and we believe that everyone should rise together.
That's amazing. Yes, we've also started planning our events. We've worked on them the whole summer. We're really excited. We planned this a lot, and now it's finally coming together.
And of course, in FTC, there's a lot of hours you have to put in. And how do you keep motivating after a lot of work?
Well, I think it's just the excitement of seeing a robot, building it yourself, it coming to life, and all that. It just keeps you going.
Well, speaking of team building and stuff, besides your robotic team and the activities that you do during the hours that you work in the lab, do you guys also do other activities besides that? Like, are you friends or did you meet through this competition?
So some of us like since we're from the same school, quite a few of us knew each other or were at least acquainted with each other. So when we got to meet, now we I think know each other pretty well, and we're like really great friends, all of us. And that's what makes it like more fun, because when you know each other, working together with your friends is much more exciting than collaborating with someone you may not know as well. And another aspect that we feel really helps is when we know each other, we know each other's strengths and weaknesses. We can really work on each other's strengths, help them with their weaknesses, and use everyone's strengths in the team to make the best possible outcome. And like Sanvi rightly said, it's just like the imagination of having a ready robot in front of you, which you've made with your own hands and you worked on for hours and hours. That's what keeps us going as a team.
Yeah, and speaking of hobbies, our team members are involved in like various different activities, and each of them have their own special skill set, which we plan to use effectively to help build the robot.
We consider friendship to also be very important. It's when we select our members, we take an interview of each one of the applicants. We do the interviews, and part of it, aside from experience, we test for experience and we test for compatibility
Yes.
between the members. We want to only work with people who we can understand and we can be actual friends, not just teams.
Yes. Speaking now not only but technical but also non-technical, was it difficult for you to be a part of a robotic team given your young age?
I've always been enthusiastic in robotics, and I've been wanting to do it for a long time, and I speak for most of our team. So I think all of us just have a lot of enthusiasm. So we enjoy doing this. It's not something that we're forced to do or we take a lot of pressure. We just enjoy it.
And another thing is that we don't, let our age deter us, because, at times you can, some people may feel that everyone's older than me and I'm like at a disadvantage here. But we don't keep that attitude with us in Team Matrix, because we really believe that age shouldn't really be a differentiating factor. And however young or old we are, it's the effort, like Sanvi rightly said, that you put in, your enthusiasm, your spirit. And I think Team Matrix has a lot of spirit. And I can see that Team Peppers also has to. So
Yeah, and I was wondering, how did you find about first in general or FTC? Because you are a rookie team, and I was wondering, how did you find it? You find it online? You find it? You just formed a club and you search for competitions?
So this was actually promoted in our school. This is a very big thing in our school, and I think most students love taking part in it. So that's from where we got to know it from. And then otherwise, FTC is really popular. So, general connections, they let you know about how fun the experience has been, and you just want to try it out for yourself.
Okay, so on a more technical note, I wanted to ask you, what was your robot design process? Like, how do you start thinking about what is going to go on the robot?
So we started off with, I think, the most basic, the base of your robot, which is like the chassis. So that's something we gave a lot of importance to in the beginning, and we're in the process of building. But apart from that, we believe that, we should take everyone's opinions into consideration while looking at your lifting mechanism or your intake mechanism, because, each person will have a unique idea, and on combining all those ideas, you can get the best possible mechanism. So we had presentations, which we've even uploaded on Instagram, some pics from them. So we had everyone present their thoughts, their game strategy, their game plan, their design. And now we're working on the CAD models of our intake and lifting mechanism alongside building it. And we're ensuring to use as reliable mechanisms as possible, because since, our mentors have also guided us, and we've seen that just trying to get the mechanism complicated, as complicated as possible in the process, we may leave out on like stability or reliability. So that's something we give priority to, because without a reliable mechanism, as complex or as advanced as it may be, it won't give you output. So reliability is one aspect we really focus on in our design.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. We also use this mentality where we focus on most reliable results. But if you have two team members with two almost equal good ideas, like two intake mechanisms that almost work the same, which one do you choose? Like
So,
how?
So we would ideally just we do presentations, so they would state the pros and the cons of it, and then together everybody would come decide or vote to see which one was the most reliable, most effective, which would be more convenient for all of us.
And to add one more thing, that in case, at the end of all this procedure, we seem to find two different intake mechanisms, both which could work out very well. We've even been guided by mentors to try both of them out and see which one works better. Even like at least sample them instead of making like an entire design. Say, for example, if you're wanting to get something metal manufactured, instead of that, just have like a 3D print made so that you can, try it out there and then accordingly focus on your manufacturing and dive deep into it. So yeah, we're working on that.
How do you communicate usually with your mentors? They're your teachers or your parents, or who are your mentors?
So our mentors are our teachers, the FRC team at our school, as well as like old Matrix team members. We talk to them online, and sometimes in school. They're always really willing to help us out with any issue that we seem to be running into.
That's actually pretty cool. We kind of have the same situation. There are a lot of alumni of our teams, like Peppers or Salis, our sister teams members that graduated and help us all the time. And but we didn't have a lot of luck with teachers as mentors. We could communicate only with one teacher, and mostly on organizational tasks, not on technical tasks. How did you find like technical mentors for your team, like for mechanisms and other complicated stuff?
So, speaking to our teachers, they're really experienced. They give us a lot of advice because they've seen, last year Matrix and the years before that, how, the mechanisms turned out, how it didn't. So when we present something, they alter it for us, they modify it, they tell us, okay, this is a great idea, but it may not work. So that gets us thinking, brainstorming to reach the best possible idea. And at the same time, we have mentors from last year's Matrix who were there and they're informing us about what went wrong, on the final day, or what went wrong while building it. So we try to not make the same mistakes again. Of course, mistakes happen, but that's what we learn from. And, by learning from these mistakes, we hope to get the best possible what we can.
So the mentors try and assist us as much as they can, but in the end, the final decisions are always made by the team members. We work together to decide it.
You also said you have an FRC team in your school, right? And the members from that team help you as well with to come up with ideas and I don't know, help you on the technical stuff on the robot.
So we have an FRC team, like we mentioned. So this team ranges from students from grade 9 to grade 12. So we get like a lot of advice from all of them, be it on non-technical aspects or the technical aspects. And it's really valuable, in fact, because they've had first-hand experience of the competition. And, using this advice, we discuss as a team, we think, and we make our decisions. And they're also very supportive of whatever initiatives we take. And they're always willing to, help us out, be it with our outreach or with our technical aspects. And yeah, it's actually great having, help from like teachers and mentors.
Yeah, and they're always willing to devote a number of free time just to make sure that our like we're doing okay, how our robots building. They're always taking a keen interest in that, and their advice as of now has been very, very valuable to us as a team.
Okay, and besides the guidance and the help that you get from your teachers or mentors, do you also have some sponsor that might support you financially? And if so, how did you find them or reach them or convince them to support your team?
So, sponsorship and fundraising are two things we, of course, know that are very important in FTC. It's something we're going to look, we have planned and we're planning. So, we're planning to, reach out to companies and NGOs who can like fund us, who can support us, do crowdfunding at the same time, which, are great ways to like earn the necessary funds. And that's something we will be working in due course of time once we can reach out to more and more teams, more and more companies. And
yeah, we have like the similar approach. We contact multiple companies that might support our cause and the values that we support. Yeah,
it's actually pretty cool that you have an FRC team in your school. We actually don't have FRC in our country, so we don't have the same opportunity. But do you plan on going to FRC when you graduate? Or
So it's usually it works like this in our school. Usually, so like seventh, eighth, ninth grade, around these are the years where people take interest in FTC, and after which, after gaining a lot of experience and exposure in FTC, most of the team members usually join the FRC team, and that's how our FRC team gets the best possible members because all the members usually have past FTC or first experience. So as a member, me personally, I am really excited on joining FRC um, next year or the year after that.
Yeah.
I think most other members are too because FRC is like, the next level. And once we've done FTC, once gained as much experience as we can, we are looking forward to FRC.
Okay, so what did you want to say prior to ending the meeting?
Okay, let me think. So we were.
I think.
Could you? Yeah, I think we can start off maybe on a new question because I think most of us covered up once.
How was like to program a robot? This is a more technical aspect. How was like to
Ask grammatically correct. Just okay.
How was like programming a robot for the first time?
What was like programming the robot? Oh my fucking god! What was programming the robot?
So what was the programming like? Okay, so basically. Yeah, so I think Sanvi is taking the programming classes, and of course, the entire team will be learning programming basics, so everyone has a good idea about that. And once our construction and CAD starts off, we'll dive deeper into the programming. And maybe Sanvi could tell us a little bit about the training sessions, etc.
Yeah, so the training sessions, we have them like 2 times a week. So the students that have opted to do programming, we're learning Java right now, and I think we're almost at an end to our programming sessions. We haven't as of now started building programming the robot itself. But I think all of us have learned the basics and we're looking forward to it.
So these Java courses are part of your curricula at school?
So it's, of course, we learn it in school as a part of our computer studies. But at the same time, since, we're different boards, different grades, so what we do is as a part of our FTC, alongside, working on the robot outreach, we had training sessions in CAD. So we're using SolidWorks for our CAD. So alongside SolidWorks CAD training, what some students opted for, some members opted for programming, and we are learning programming Java. Could you mention which software, Sanvi?
Yeah, so we're using BlueJ and Eclipse. So we largely use Eclipse, but for some people, BlueJ is more convenient. So
so it's a mix of BlueJ and Eclipse.
And you also use Eclipse to program your robot, or you use Android Studio?
So I think the training sessions to learn the basics of Java, we'll be using, Eclipse and BlueJ. But for the programming, we're going to look at Android Studio because I think that's the software that most FTC teams use, and I used last year too. So and Android Studio is a pretty user-friendly software. But of course, BlueJ and Eclipse are good for learning the basics of Java. But for FTC, yeah, we'll be looking at Android Studio.
And how many people does usually work on the code at the same time?
So as a part of Matrix, we have around 5 to 6 programming members, if I'm not wrong. And we have them all ideate, brainstorm, discuss about the code, the logic, the flowchart, basically. And then working on, different aspects of the code. We have some people who, code one aspect, some code the other. And then one is maybe proofreading or, if there are errors that are popping up, figuring that out. Alongside going further into the concept. So sometimes, there's trigonometry involved. There are concepts involved, which we need to use for the placement of the robot. So, we have we're looking into dividing aspects like these among all the members so we can get the best possible code.
On our side, in Romania, we learn C++ in school, so it's not really helpful when it comes to programming a robot. Obviously, we don't learn any actual useful things that we can use in this process, but so we only have 2 members that code the robot.
Yeah, we are 2 members that code the robot.
And in our curricula, we do not learn I think we have in the 11th grade something related to Java. in our curricula we only learn C++ related to competitive programming. So we only know how to do problems on code forces, not program something that's like a site or an app, and it's very difficult. We need to learn basically all this programming, IDE, what the IDE is, what is OP, and everything that's related to actual functional programming we need to learn by ourselves.
Didn't we actually learn some HTML in ninth grade?
Yeah.
I think we skipped those.
Okay. I was curious, how do you manage your team? Like, do you have a team leader or a team captain that coordinates all the people in your team?
So basically the voting procedure, we did conduct it. However, like we want to conduct it when like all members are present. And since we have like a lot of activities going on in school, MUNs and exams for like different people. So like sometimes certain members are absent. So we're going to be deciding our team roles in the upcoming weeks, either next session. We've scheduled a date where we'll be conducting a formal voting procedure to decide that. But as a team, I personally have seen that even though like roles aren't decided yet, everyone is working very, very enthusiastically. So I think I feel that our team too believes that it isn't about like maybe like the role you get, but it's just about working as hard as you can towards a team, be it you're a team member or a head of department or a captain. But it's the team that matters in the end.
Yeah, so our team takes a keen interest in doing everything, and regardless of what positions, everybody's going to work just as hard as they can because, like Anushka said, it's not your position doesn't matter, it's how much effort you contributed and how much time you took, and other factors that really decide how good you did in FTC or how well you performed.
Is your enthusiasm also shared by your community? Like, what is FTC like in India? Does your community or school support you, or?
So our school definitely supports us. In fact, it's our school who's introduced FTC, FRC, and several other robotics competitions. Even like it really supports the WRO, for example. So they've introduced these competitions to many of us. And apart from that, I think the overall first community in India, it's a really nice community because in India we've seen even in our team, just to bring out an example, we are 4 to 5 girls and like around 10 to 11 boys. So the thing is, even in our school, we have like not too many girls participating in STEM as boys do. And I think a great, an aspect our school and overall, I think all first teams in India are looking at is women representation in STEM as a whole. So that's something I believe it's like a very nice aspect of the first community in India. And, I think India has a lot of first representation, although not as much as maybe other countries like, say, US. But I've interacted with several other, teams in the past, first teams in the past. And yeah, all of them seemed really enthusiastic.
Yes.
Last year.
Sorry. One quick question for you all.
Yeah.
Like since we're all like most of us in 8th and 9th. Which grade are like most of your team members in?
11 or 10th grade.
It depends. We also have younger students, but most of them are in 11th grade, right?
We actually start recruiting from the 9th grade, because like I said, we don't have FRC in our country, so we just started 9th grade at FTC and go through 9th to 12th grade through FTC.
Yes, and I mean, it wasn't intentional, but how we worked in the past, how old was our team? 4 or 5 years, is that when the main members of the team get to 11th grade, we recruit a lot of 9th graders to prepare them. So when we leave school, they can take over the team.
Yeah, we actually put a lot of effort in maintaining continuity in our team. So we have a very tedious recruiting process that we have to do. Like this year, we had 100 people signing in for our robotics club. So it was a very hard summer, and it was very hard to decide which ones we had to pick. Maria is actually one of our new members.
Yes, I'm just getting to know how this team works, and at first it's very confusing because you don't know how anything of this works. But as you start to get to know the members and you start making friends and so on, you find that it's actually a very nice community, and I really like the spirit. Yeah.
We basically recruit anyone that we see potential in, because at the end of the day, we are 30 something members and everyone wants to get involved. Anyone wants to learn at least, and it's amazing. We can't refuse them when it comes to that.
Do you have more than 50 members, or are you kept at the limit of FTC?
So we are at around like 15, 16 members because, that's the FTC limit. But at the same time, we have like a sister team who's also at around 15 to 16 members. So it's not just us 15 members working, but at times when we collaborate, it becomes like a force of 30. And that's why, combining and collaborating, I feel it's always amazing, because even if you may have only 8 members in your, or 8 to 9 members in your FTC team, when you collaborate with other FTC teams, a lot more can be achieved. And that's another reason why, I really love this podcast, and I really enjoyed answering all the questions you'll asked. And it was great interacting with another FTC team and learning about your experiences too.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks a lot for being here and for answering all of our questions. And if you have anything else to ask, or no?
I think we're good. It was a great experience, honestly.
Okay.
Thank you for taking the time out to have us.
It was amazing. We're so glad we.
Thank you a lot for coming.
Yes. Thank you a lot.
Good luck in this year's season, of course, and maybe we'll collaborate in the future again. We'll see.
Maybe we want to.
Yeah. Yes, definitely. We're looking forward to that, and good luck to all of you too. Hope you do.
We wish you the best of luck with your robot.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Bye.
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 Thank you.